Hello everybody, welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons! I did not mean to spin my umbrella. Got a letter from Tutu, my BFS Steven. It's, you know, really hard sometimes to tell someone how you feel face to face. I mean, so I decided to put my feelings in a letter. Okay, here goes. I'm happy you're my friend. Your friend Tutu. Yeah, it can be really hard to do. I honestly struggle a lot with doing that. Like, I will struggle to tell people how I feel, like, in, like, a voice call or face-to-face, but I can tell them no problem over text. Like, I feel like a good part of that's just, like, I'm afraid of their reaction. So, like, I just don't want to, you know, look in my home. Oof, who? One chat. There's some time spent relaxing at home just for you with joy. I'd love for you to relax here as well. Oof, who? It's a pretty nice house. Got a nice little bench, table, nice little straw bed. So that's probably more her dinner. Let's be honest. Got a cutting board, some logs for the stove. This is actually a really cute house. Like, jeez. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna clean up the flowers today. Okay. If my shovel breaks while I'm doing the money rock, I'll get some flowers. Oops, hoping I'd see you. Let's chat. Sometimes I get a craving for falafel and nothing. I mean, nothing else will do. Isn't that like a Mario RPG villain? Isn't it? I don't know. It's similar anyway. Close enough. Probably what, if that's not the character's name, it's probably what I just mentally call them then. If you guys have watched enough of my streams and stuff, you'll know. Oh boy. See, I'm digging up some flowers here anyway. I will just give characters random other names. And sometimes it's just because that's what my brain reads their name as. Like, there's a character in Final Fantasy XIV that, their name is like Manago or something like that. My brain read it as Mango. So they're just Mango now. That's just their name. They are just Mango now. And I've mentioned that to some people and they're just like, oh god, I can't unsee that now. And it's like, yeah, they're Mango. They're a Mango. Yeah, most of the reason I don't really want to deal with all the flowers today, at least on screen, is I'm just tired. I have had a busy but not busy day. Like, I woke up late, which you would think would mean I would be more rested, but no. Because I still woke up with my alarm, which means I had an uninterrupted sleep. I had an interrupted sleep, not an uninterrupted one. Which means I actually probably ended up more tired than I would have been had I just got up with my alarm. But I was like, nah, too tired, back to sleep. Thankfully, I was conscious enough to realize what I was doing. So, like, I've not gotten to that point with this alarm yet. Which is just an online alarm I found that I can use on my phone. I can change the alarm sound, which I've been doing every now and again. Because, like, I know I'll get used to it otherwise. Make yourself at home, Kate. Let's talk. Welcome to my palace. Fully full of things that make me H-A-P-P-Y happy. Feel free to look at all my fab stuff and validate my lifestyle. Pretty cool jewelry, nice candle, love the dolly, loving it, love the bed. No joke, I would kind of love to have a bed like that. Because, like, let's be real, me, myself, I don't need more space than a single bed. You know, I could get by with a bunk bed kind of thing. Also, if I'm glancing this way, it's because I have a drummer stream open. Should be used to this by now. Now that I've been back watching him for like half a year, more than that actually. Whoop. There we go. Like, I would love to have practical space under my bed. And like, oh, there goes my shovel. Okay, guess I'm digging up flowers. And like, you might be like, oh, well, just having a bed frame, that would give you some quote-unquote practical space. But no, that's not what I would consider practical space. Deep storage is not practical. Deep storage is very unpractical. Because you're not able to make use of things in deep storage. Like, if I want deep storage, that's what the other side of the basement is for. Like, I don't need space under my bed for deep storage. What I need is more shelf space, more table space, more space I can put things. And if that could be the underside of a desk, you know, the underside of my bed, that's also, you know, conveniently a desk, that would be very helpful. I'll deal with flowers after I finish the money rock shenanigans anyway, but... So, like, that would be really nice. I wouldn't be able to use, like, that kind of desk for, like, my streaming setup or anything. Or my well, maybe for a streaming setup, but that would also require having a second computer. Which, really, a lot of big streamers do, because it does lessen the load. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have been watching my Voices of the Void streams, but for a while I was having a lot of random stuttering issues with my VTuber model playing that game that I probably wouldn't have had if I wasn't running OBS through the computer that I was playing Voices of the Void on. Because OBS does use parts of your computer's performance. It's where, like, just playing Monster Hunter Wilds, I have a much, like, not much better, but a better experience than streaming it. Just because, well, performance is better. Lemon. You live here? Nice to meet you. He's a lemon. Lyman? I'm gonna call him Lemon. Today sounds really nice. Feels perfect for tennis. It's not. Too many flowers. No setting up a sports court and ruining my flowers. Not allowed. That's like the biggest crime you can commit on this island. Ruining the flowers. But yeah, like, I could have, like, something like that set up, like a desk like that set up with, like, my spare TV, which doesn't work very well for, like, using as my recording TV anymore. But, like, I could have it set up with that, and, like, the PS4, the PS2, the Wii, you know, all the other game consoles that I'd like to use more often, but can't. Duskwalkers, open the sea. Let's chat. Day ain't over yet, Nightshade, no matter what the sun says. Yeah, day's not over until 6 a.m. That's literally how Animal Crossing days work. But alas, I just have a... I think it's a queen on the floor. So I don't even get the deep storage out of it. Which, you know, if I have the choice between having that deep storage and not having it, I would kind of like to have it, but at the same time, having it would mean that while I'm asleep, my ankles would be resting on the frickin' frame of the bed. So, I really need, like, this is gonna sound dumb, but kind of like a frameless frame. And, like, I know this kind of thing exists. Like, think like a cot frame. Cots don't really have anything on the top or bottom. Well, they have something on the top. They have basically a headboard replacement. And then, like, they don't really have anything on the bottom, other than, like, a little thin rim that holds the mattress in place. That would be ideal. Because then, you know, I wouldn't have the piece of wood on the bottom of the bed to, like, dig into my ankles as I'm trying to sleep. To be crafting. What are you crafting? What? Were you talking to me? I was way in the DIY zone, Twinkles. Chip 2. Well, making a cardboard table. Okay, I already know how to make this. And I already know the plot of that show. I've been told a few times now. I'm not very into trains, but, you know. Knew a kid who was when I was growing up. I was friends with him for a while, and then I was a complete dick and ruined that. And, like, I'm not the type to be like, I should, like, try to patch things up. Because, like, in reality, yeah, I probably should, and I did before, and I think he knows that, like, I was just going through a lot of crap and was kind of an asshole. And, like, I could have been a lot more eloquent about how I was saying things back then. But, like, I don't want to try to force somebody to like me again when they don't, you know. It's not worth the effort on anyone's part. Especially where, like, he's living his life now, I'm living mine, you know. We've kind of gone different paths through life, so, you know, it just kind of happens. Which is very much a thing of, like, if you ever find yourself, like, drifting away from a friend, or, like, notice that you have drifted away from somebody, try not to take it personally. Like, you've just gone different ways in life. You came to that crossroads of destiny, they went left, you went right. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm sure if y'all met up, you'd be... Hey, this is basically the shirt I'm wearing. You know what? Why not? You know, I'm sure you'd be pals all over again. Let's see. The slacks look kind of bad, but yeah, those are kind of what I've got on right now. I'd need to take off the shoes to match what I'm like at the moment, so I'll just leave the shoes on. There we go. I'm properly me again. Except that shirt actually fits, and this one, I could probably fit a whole other person in here with me. This shirt is definitely a bit too big. It fit fine when I was heavier, though. So, progress. I know what you're thinking. Why is Sable here working every Saturday? I actually get the most done on Saturdays. I like feeling productive when everyone else is resting. Well, Papa always told me stitching overtime saves your spine. Save your spines. That is fair. It can also work you into an early grave. Because you'll be stressing way too much and working a lot of overtime. But I suppose running the store, you're not overly worried about not getting paid for that overtime. And, you know, it's a lot more fulfilling because you're actually the one running the store and, like, you know. Simon be home. May as well pop in to see Simon. Simon! For a surprise! Thanks for coming by. Always cool to see you. Latest! Think about a story my grandma told me. Look how it goes. It's about time. Girl went to a ball after a magical fairy cast a spell to make her a princess. The spell's about to run out. Girl ran off, leaving behind, a business card. That makes sense. Might make it hard for the prince to find her. Be direct. Okay, I'm gonna get business cards for myself too. They'll say, Simon, snacky dude. I will always kind of hate that story. Because, like... it paints everybody involved in a really bad light. Great to see you, Steven. Tall enough? Let's chat. This weather's just perfect for a stroll around the island, isn't it? Why are you sweeping the beach? Good question. Because, like, Cinderella is stupid. Like, there's no way around it. Quite literally, this is a world where people know magic exists. Why not just tell the prince? Hey, my outfit is magical and it's gonna dispel at midnight. You know, I'm sure he'd get it, you know. Oh, it's Butterbean. Glad to see you. Let's talk. Struggling to call last minute dinner plans, Snorty. Aww. We got Sky. Steven, hey, nice to see you. Let's chat. Let's make today our best day ever. You girls are making this very hard on me. I think I'm gonna sit next to Galitha. Whoop. May as well do our KK concert now. This is a cool cat, but that must have. You ready for me to wail? Let's hear it, man. Cool, cool. Any requests? Dial up no fair, you can just tell me how you're feeling. Prove on it. I'll leave it up to you. You lose Joyce, huh? Cool. I got a slick one for you. Take a seat and we'll jam. I'll sit next to Gala. Right on. Cute enough and ready to roll. Who's in the mood for a little lucky KK? But, like, also the prince. How could he not remember Cinderella's face? He had to have seen it. And it was the night before. Even if he was that distracted by the rest of her outfit. Which, you know, wasn't a revealing outfit. So it wasn't he was distracted by the rest of her body. It was her outfit. He would have probably still seen her face. And be able to remember. And also, why specifically did the fairy's magic not run out on the slipper? But everything else. I don't get it. Everyone just, including the fairy godmother, just all are so stupid and just look bad. It's a pretty nice song, though. Jeez. I really wish I wasn't yawning so much. I think I'm going to bed early tonight. I was gonna play more Outlast Trials tonight, but I don't think I'm alert enough. That game is fun to play, but still not something coming to the YouTube. I'm gonna be honest, if Mortuary Assistant gets demonetized, it definitely would. Also, I have been eating way too many Skittles, and I've got so many more. You might be like, what do you mean you've got... I got so many freaking Skittles. Just Skittles. It's all the packs right there, but there's more upstairs. There's too many... Save me from the Skittles. That is... Oh, this doesn't even say how many grams are in each bag. Wait, they legally have to. Pretty sure. No problem, KK. I'm distracted. So just maybe cut off on that bag? I'm pretty sure they legally have to say how many are in each one. I guess not. Maybe they have some loophole. I don't know. Okay, back to finding the money rock. I still might not deal with flowers today, outside of the ones I have to. Serrano's in a position to ruin the money rock again. Okay. I don't think he can. He could try, but I don't think he can. Okay. Really wish he would just get off the island already. Honestly, I'm thinking once December hits that I'm basically not going to replace any villagers except if Serrano wants to leave. If he wants to leave in December, he can go. But if this is like any other Christmas event, I'm gonna need time to talk to villagers to get an idea of what to give them for Christmas. But if it's like the other Christmas events, I can probably process of elimination the final villager, so that's my thought process there. Now, let's register Lucky KK. Oh, hey, it's Lobo! I don't know the cat, but that's Lobo! And bagpipes, the instrument of my people! Yeah, my family's predominantly Scottish. It's just how we roll. Well, I say it. The half of my family I acknowledge is Scottish. The half that I don't is predominantly German. So, you know. Let's assess some fossils. Bam. So much stuff going on 8-bit stream. So tired, man. I am also mildly annoyed that, like, though I suppose I haven't checked my email for a while. The place I applied to hasn't even remotely gotten back to me yet. But I'm not overly surprised either. Oh, yeah, it's... Yeah, indeed, that is a job I saw earlier, but it's not one I could have. It's basically like a package sorter. Just that. And like, you'd think, sorting packages. Pretty easy job, pretty entry level. For some reason, it requires a Class 5 license. I'm guessing for forklifts, maybe. But like, another job I just simply cannot do because, like, it's so frustrating. Because you need a car to get work. But to afford a car, you need to be working. How does the world? This doesn't work. Of which the world is sitting there going, sure it does. Called, have rich parents that can just buy you a car when you turn 16. Yeah, I wasn't that lucky. So like, screw me, I guess. Like, I've had people when I make mention that like I've never had my license be like, but you're like 29. It's like, yeah, but you need money before that's worth it. Like, I've had my learners before, sure. I've never sat behind the wheel of a car. I've never had anybody to teach me how to drive. Like, you can't get a license without someone to teach you how to drive, or at the very least, somewhere you can teach yourself how to drive. I have neither. You know, it's utterly frustrating. Because, like, the world would open up so much to me if I could drive. Because not only would that expand where I can work, like, I'm basically locked to about a 3-kilometer radius around this house. I can't really go much further because of just the distance. Now, I could, after my first, basically paycheck working, start, say, taxiing to work. But as I've already explained before, that doesn't make economical sense. Because a lot of the places, I'd be paying like $40 a day just to get to work. And that just does not make economical sense. And there are no buses in this area. Like, there are some jobs that I look at and I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. But then, and I could do them without them really messing with my schedule much, too. But I can't get to them reliably, which would be a problem. And, I imagine the times I've been kind of brutally honest with, people calling, hey, when can I schedule this interview? Making mention of, yeah, that's a this many minute walk to that place. That probably makes a lot of them go, this person doesn't drive, so they can't really be emergency called. Which a lot of places see as a negative. That they can't just call you in on a whim and expect you to be there in 5 minutes. Honestly, there's some places, that supermarket I was applying to is one of them, where if I had gotten that call, even if I could drive, I would probably tell them no. Because, quite simply, I did that last time I was working. I was the person that, even though it was a 40-some minute walk, 30, 40 minutes, would, hey, just if you ever need me, let me know. I'll head in and work. I was that person. And my reward was having my hours slashed to next to nothing. So, and that is something I will always hate, is the mentality of oh, but you gotta prove to them. It's I did prove to them that I'm willing to work, that I'm willing to go in, put the work in, take extra shifts to make sure stuff gets done. And my reward was my hours getting cut to next to nothing. Which part of that was the store manager stepping in going, right, cut hours. Don't care, cut them. But part of that as well was the manager of the department going, so the actual good workers in the department, how about I don't give any of them any hours and instead give myself and the girl I'm trying to sleep with 40 hours a week. Give the only other guy in the department 8 hours a week because surely I was a threat to him in some way. And the other competent workers 20 hours. When this person he was trying to sleep with was the worst worker in the department. To the point where you could almost negative the stock on days that she was in. And you'd probably just be right because she's not going to get anywhere near enough done. Meanwhile, I'd come in for my one shift a week to basically be told, yep, you gotta knuckle down and make a crap load because, we gotta coast on that for the next few days. It's or you could just give me hours and then not have to worry because things would just be done. Or at least give the other competent workers hours because then things would get done. But no. Now that made too much logic and sense. And retail work doesn't rely on those. Also gonna come put these mushrooms away. Even though I know I'm basically done cleaning up flowers, but... Boy, I am ranting today, jeez. It's just frustrating, you know? Like... This is why I take a casual approach to job hunting. Because when I don't take it casually, it just frustrates me. Because, like... There's nothing I can do to weigh things in my favor. You know, it doesn't help when, like, tracking cookies be tracking cookies, and I've been seeing random meme posts about jobs and stuff, and there's one that was going around decently viral a while back, of someone being like, yeah, I applied to like 150 places and haven't heard back from any of them, and someone replied with, well, yeah, it's because you need to basically add a 0 to that. You need to be applying to 1,500 places, and it's like, no. I'm just gonna sell these flowers. Like, if you're having to apply to that many places to get a freaking job, that's a problem. Especially where, you know, some places, there aren't that many jobs. There is currently, in my area, roughly about 480 job postings. On Indeed. On Indeed, at least. Why am I in the museum? And most of those are for high-skilled positions. Things like experienced police-trained security, pharmacists, truck drivers, doctors, nurses, care home workers. You know, things that require degrees and experience. There are practically no entry-level jobs. Like, that's the problem. There virtually is just no jobs anywhere that anyone can just anyone can apply to. And like, yeah, sure, I could waste those companies' times and apply to their, like, you know, high skill positions. I could do that. I'd be wasting their time and possibly get blacklisted. You know. I'd rather not do that, though. But that's going to be it for my rambling and ranting for today. I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow as we buy some turnips. See you all then.
Now.